Hey guys, welcome to this session by K21 Academy. In this session, we are going to get introduced to data analysis and we will be performing a demo where we will capture streaming data using Azure Event Hub, Azure Stream Analytics and Power BI. Now let us take a quick glance at the agenda. Firstly, we will be getting introduced to data analysis and then we will see what are the tasks performed by data analyst. Post that, we will be seeing the benefits of the organizations using Power BI. And then we will try to understand the Power BI architecture. Post that, we will be getting an overview of Power BI Desktop, Power BI Service, and Power BI Mobile. And then finally, we will be performing a demo where we will capture streaming data using Azure Event Hub, Azure Stream Analytics, and Power BI. So we have taken a clip from one of our certification training program on Microsoft Data Analyst Associate DA100. And in this clip, our expert will give an introduction to data analysis and he will perform a demo where he will capture streaming data using Azure Event Hub, Azure Stream Analytics and Power BI.
All right, then. So I'm here to talk about the data analysis. What is data analysis here? But before that, the basic thing is that when I talk about data, so generally, what is a data? A data is a meaningful information or it's a meaningful details which we will be able to use to get a better outcome and better operations over there. But sometimes if I have or if I've stored that data maybe in a form of tabular format or in a form of rows and columns, the decision making process is a little bit slow over there. That's where we have this concept of data analysis. So what is a data analysis? First of all, a data analysis is a process of inspecting, cleansing, transforming and modeling the data with the goal of discovering useful information, informing conclusions and supporting decision making. So generally, as you can see there, by using Power BI is a very strong tool which is very frequently used nowadays in most of the organizations. As we have already gone through that, Fortune 500 companies are also taking Microsoft softwares. They are using that. So this Power BI is currently the most popular reporting tool because it have capability to work with any type of data sources. It can be your web URL, it can be a cloud data platform, it can be a cloud service itself, it may be flat files, it may be Excel, Access, and there are lots of options are already there. And once we are going to capture this data, once we are going to read this data, all these data will be able to and we will be able to utilize to present it in a more interactive and graphical manner. And how this is very good reason being is that there is a term which is said that human eye recognizes the pattern. So we are very good in recognizing the pattern. Like for example, let's go to the share markets. So whenever the share markets goes up, you always feel happy, but when it goes down, the expression of is always changed over there. So a data analysis, as I have told you, it's a process of inspecting, cleansing, and transforming the data. So for handling this data analysis role, we have, or handling this data analysis responsibility, we do have the task of data analyst. We have a role named as data analyst. So what are the basic tasks which are part of a data analyst? As you can see, I have the list of tasks which are there. Like we start with the prepare. So please understand, data preparation is the process. Data preparation is the process of profiling, cleaning, and transforming your data to get it ready to model and visualize. So what it generally does, it generally takes some raw data, turning it into an information that is trusted and understandable as well, which involves among other things as well, ensuring the integrity of the data, correcting wrong or inaccurate data, identifying the missing data. All these things are basically what we call the data preparation, and data analyst does that. Followed with that, we do have the modeling. So once your data is in proper state, whenever your data is in proper state, it's ready to be modeled. And data modeling is the process of determining how your tables are related to each other, because here we use relationship. And this is done by defining and creating the relationships between the tables, where table is a combination of rows and columns. But if the data is only in a form of rows and column, right, I might find little bit difficulty to analyze it or to take quick decisions from there. That's where we do have the visualize. So the another responsibility of your data analyst is to visualize the data. So the task is where you get to bring your data to life, because the goal of the visualize task is to ultimately solve business problems, and a well-designed report should tell a compelling and impactful story about the data, enabling business decision makers to quickly gain needed insights. With this part, we do have the analyze, which is the important step of understanding and interpreting the information which is displayed on the report. And finally, we do have the manage. So there are many components in Power BI, which includes your reports, dashboards, workspaces, data sets, and more. And as a data analyst, you are responsible for the management of these Power BI assets. So proceeding further, now what are the benefits to organizations, or how this is benefit to you? So there are different criterias, different categories are there, and different regions are there that it actually gives you the benefits. First thing, improve decision making. Now think about a case where I do have a data in a form of rows and columns, and I have the same data in a visualized manner. So think about it, and you can use a chat window to type which particular option you will prefer to use to analyze the data. Are you going to use that rows and column based data where you need to go row by row and column by column, or you will prefer to use a very nice and clean visualization with high end reporting, and then with that report you will be able to get a very nice and clean outcomes from there. So this is definitely help you to improve decision making. Proceeding with that, more effective marketing. Why? Because see, what are the attraction for the customers mostly? What I believe here is that when you show the things visually, apart from showing the things in a normal rows and column format, when you will show these things visually, right? So definitely that gives a more impact. Reason being is that, as I have said, human eye recognize these the patterns, and when they recognize the patterns, they know where is the benefit, where is the where is and profit, and all these stuff are basically be taken care. So it is very effective for marketing as well, specifically for the customers who want to just see some high-end reports within just few clicks and so on, and it's good to go, and they are good to go with that. With this part, better customer service, because handling is very easy on this particular software. Apart not only with the software, but see, these are actually end user tools. So if you have a client who have say data available with them, they also be able to design and develop some very high end reports by using that. And then if they need any help for more enhancement and more attraction and more implementation, so they are good to go with you, and they are going to contact you, and definitely, and they will give you the opportunity to serve them. And when you will start serving them and you are giving a good results, that's another benefit to the organization and to you as well. Then more efficient operation, because going visually on comparison to going in a textually, right, gives a very big impact over there. So yes, the operation is very efficient because you know where to put the things. A simple drag and drop area and some minor changes will be there, and then you are going to get with a new nice and clean reports as well. And quality and consistency, that is the guarantee which is provided by Power BI, that they provide the quality, consistency. As soon as any variations are there, some changes are there to your databases, to your data sources, right? It is definitely going to give a qualitative, not only quantitative, but also the qualitative data for analysis purposes itself. So these are the different type of benefits which is to organization and to you as well. With this part in our mind, so let's discuss about how this Power BI architecture works. So in this part, as Power BI is a business analytics service, it provides business intelligence capabilities and visualizations for your data. So now, as you can see on the left side, I do have hundreds of data sources are there. And I will be able to connect with hundreds of data sources. It may be on-prem, on cloud, even a web URL. Even a web URL can be taken as a data source over here. Followed with that, we use a tool known as Power BI Desktop as well. So let's go one by one. First thing is about you connect with your data source. You design and develop your reports as well by using Power BI Desktop. Once you publish those reports, it will go to Power BI service, where Power BI service is a service platform which is basically used for the purpose of sharing this report, this information with your clients, with your group mates, with your teammates, and so on. And you definitely want the latest data all the time. That's where we have this Power BI gateways. Now, Power BI gateways are basically a strategy, or it's a methodology which is used for syncing your data with the Power BI service. So if there is any variation which is there from the data side, it will be reflected to your Power BI service as well. And from that Power BI service, we will be able to access this data in a form of maybe dashboards and so on, or by using mobile phones and then report. And nowadays, this is the most frequently as most popular way of representing the report. So specifically the business people, they prefer to use their phone, and then by using that they will be able to see the reports, and everything will be designed and developed within fraction of minutes, or maybe it will not take much time, but yes, it will be a very nice and clean output which you will be able to see right here. So this is a complete architecture that we generally have here when we are going to work with this Power BI implementation.
So this is how our demo is going to look like. Pragyan is going to mimic an application which is consists of, for example, 3 nodes or 3 devices or something, just for an example. This will be sending the data in real time to Microsoft Event Hub, which is running on cloud, which is Azure Cloud. From there, it's going to the Stream Analytics, which is doing a real-time analysis on that and sending data to Power BI. That Power BI data is actually then we'll be seeing in real-time report for real-time purpose. So this is a full demo. Now, your primary function, you'll be working mainly on this, but just to give you a full picture of how these things work in a real scenarios. With that, I'm going to hand it over to Pragyan and see.
So now, what is the tool which I'm going to use? Because when I say Power BI is not just a word. It's a suite. It's a suite of different type of resources. Different type of tools are there, and the first most frequently used one is what we call the Power BI desktop. This Power BI desktop is basically the initial tool which is freely available as well. You can download it from Microsoft website, and this is just a snapshot that you can see that how I will be able to utilize my data to generate such a very high-end report with changes as well. It means it will filter the data for you. It will filter the information for you. If you will click any of these locations that we have, on the basis of that, all these are going to interact with each other. And that's the best part we have for the Power BI desktop. Proceeding with that, once you create your report in the Power BI desktop, we always publish it. And after publishing, it will goes to Power BI service, which is a web portal. I'm going to show you in a minute when I will start with my demo that what is a Power BI service and how I'm going to use it. So to do that, I do have this Power BI service, which is a very nice and clean way of sharing these reports. And I will be able to share these reports with my teammates, with my colleagues, with restrictions as well. So if I have people from US or UK, I want that a UK person will not be able to see the US data and US people will not be able to see the UK data. Whenever I will get a scenario or a situation like that, again, it is going to play a very good role over there. And then, as I have told you, the most interesting part we have is about Power BI mobile. So you will be able to see a very high and very clean and crystal clear reports over there. And by using that reports or by visualizing that reports, you can access it anywhere through your tab, through your mobiles. You might forget your wallet at your home, but you are never going to forget your mobile. And nowadays, mobile is everything where we have all the details, all the information, all the data is there. So this is the tool that we are going to use with. So I'm very excited right now. So let's start with a demo here where I'm going to display you a streaming output with Power BI service. And as the architecture has already been provided by Atul, that we are going to use an application. Here I'm also going to use an application which is basically designed on Visual Studio, which is basically an IDE, integrated development environment, which we generally use for the purpose of designing reports by using different type of programming languages. So we are going to generate some events from there. I'm going to use Azure Event Hub, which is actually the ingester, which ingesting or which is going to insert the data or which is going to ingest the data, and I'm going to process this data, and then I will go for the Power BI and I will show you how to work with that. So to do that, let's go for the demo part itself. So to do that, I'm going to first go to my browser. Actually, I'm using an Azure portal here. This is an Azure portal which is basically designed by, or which is designed on the Azure portal. And this is basically portal.azure.com. It is a cloud interface which is provided by Microsoft. And this cloud portal is basically the one which we are going to create, or we are going to use for our demo. I do have a Power BI service as well. You can see a Power BI service which I have already prepared, or I have already logged in, right? You will be able to go to powerbi.com, and then you require some login IDs and password for this, right? You are going to be guided as well that how you will be able to create these kind of accounts as well. And then you will be able to, you are going to see lots of informations over there. So over to this part. So for this purpose, I'm also going to use one application, which is what we call the machine temperature application, which I am creating by using a Visual Studio solution tool. A solution file is basically collection of multiple files. So let me open it in front of you so that I can show you that what we are planning to do right here. So this is the interface where I'm going to put some input, and I'm going to generate some events, and these events are going to be live events which is going to be performed here. So I will go and start first to show you that what this application is going to do for me. So I'm going to run this statement. It will show me a console. Now it is asking me to enter the amount of machine. Now let me tell you one thing here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create some dummy machines, and I'm going to capture the temperature of those dummy machines. So I said I need 3 temperatures, so 3 machines are there. Press enter. And then when I will say, give me the status, please. So as you can see, I have 3 machines there, M1, M2, M3. So suppose I want to instruct them that, okay, do one thing, increase the machine 1 temperature, and we can bounce the machine 2 temperature. So I can just give them a normal instruction, M1 increase and M2 bounce. Now, when you will check the status, you will see some variations here. Now see the variations. So right now it is 9.03, and as soon as I will go further, you will be able to find out in one case, as you can see, they are just adding, and they're just increasing the temperature. In one, it is just bouncing it. It is not neither decreasing nor increasing. They are just bouncing it, and they are doing it on continuous basis. This is the live data which I'm going to, or this application is going to give me the live feeds, and I'm going to use that feeds over there. So to work with this, I actually prepared something which is known as your event hub. So I will go there. And then first of all, I will go to an event hub. So what is an event hub? An event hub is actually a bridge between the destination or the portal and the application, from where I am going to read the data, from where I'm going to access the data. So it's a bridge between both of them. And for accessing them, what I have done, I have actually created an event over here. This is an event. That event is going to keep the task, or going to perform the task of ingesting the data. And there I have prepared a shared access policy. So why we need shared access policy? See, this shared access policy is a key. It's a key that I am going to use for connecting. So it's like a lock and key. So right now, I don't have any way through which I will be able to connect with my on-premises system. But I want to connect with my on-premises application, and I want to read data from there. And that's where I have prepared this shared access policy. In this policy, I have already given them the permissions to manage, send or listen the data, and then I am providing a connection string. So as I have told you, because I want to communicate with my on-premises system, so I need a connection between both of them, and that's why I have created this shared access policy. So I've already prepared this part now. Now after that, I am going back to my application. And actually, if you will see there within the application, I have this concept where they are talking about the event hub connection. So in the event hub connection, I have already copied the connection string from the event hub. I will take this up, and I would like to replace it with what I have copied over here. But because now I am giving this application permission that now you are allowed to connect, or you are allowed to provide the data, and then Event Hub is going to read data from this particular location, and then they are going to when we are going to use the data for the destination purpose. So once I did that, I will click Save All. I will start this. So now here I am again going to go for the enter the amount of machines, and then I will keep it idle for a while. I am not going to perform any variations. I am keeping it idle now. And I already have this connection established. Now let's go to this portal and then go back to your overview. And when you will scroll down, you already check that now we have already restarted receiving the request. Because I have connected my Azure portal with this Event Hub to my on-premises software, where I'm generating the machine temperatures and all. Gradually, maybe after 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, it is going to be changing. It is going to be keep changing, and then it will give you a totally new result or a new data that has already been there. So gradually you will see all those stuff as well. So once I have did this part, I'm moving to the next option. Now I would like to represent this data, because right now, of course, it is showing me a graph or something, but I want to show this data that whether is it responding lively or not. When I'm going to work with that, but it is responding lively or not. Let's see that as well. So for that purpose, I have prepared and created an stream analytics job, which is a streaming analytics job is a processor which processes our request. So let's go there. And for the first step, what I'm going to do is I need to provide three things here. Number one, I need to give an input, then a query, because I am going to write a query for it, and then I need to go for the outputs. So these are the three things which I am going to cover right now. So now for the input implementation, I will go there and I'm going to add a stream input, because I want to capture the live streaming data. I want to capture the live streaming data. So I will go there and then I will say Event Hub. On the right side, I am going to give some information. So I said input stream. That's the name of my Event Hub. I'm going to use an Event Hub namespace, which I have created already, an Event Hub name as well, with the consumer group, and then managed identity is also there. And finally, I do have the apart from that, I will prefer to use connection string, and I have created an access policy, because on the basis of that policy, I'm connected to my on-premises database server, or sorry, on-premises application, and then I'm going to save it. Now you may be wondering that you have created the input, but it is really inserting something, or it is just showing that testing input and then testing output, and it is not doing anything else over here. Well, I would like to show you that it's already, let it be done. It's in process, so successfully done. Now see something. If I will go to query, you will find out something is going on here. It means it is right now, it is reading the data gradually from my application. It is reading the data gradually from my application. And if I will show you something here, do you remember I do have a stable data with 77 temperature, and I will be able to read that data. But before I will write any query or anything, so see, it requires a simple select query or an SQL query, and by using that SQL query, we will be able to design and develop this part itself. So now to do that, I'm going back to my output first. And before that, I will go to Power BI service. I'm going to create a workspace. So what is a workspace? A workspace is basically a collection. It's a collection of all the resources that includes your reports, that includes your dashboards, that your data set, everything is going to be here. So let's go to create a workspace. And I'm going to give it a name as DA100 seminar, or sorry, it should be webinar. Okay, so let it be webinar, and then I'm going to save this. Once saved, I would like to utilize this for my output purpose. So I will go to add, then I will go for Power BI, and I need to authorize this first. For authorizing this, I need to put my mail ID, that is pragyan@cloudtrainergm.onmicrosoft.com. Next, and then I am not going to save my password for sure. Okay, then sign in. So now here, I'm going to prepare an output alias, which is going to be a Power BI output. And then DA100 webinar. This is the workspace. If you remember, I have created this workspace few seconds before. And as soon as I authorize my Power BI service to access this login, and I will be able to see it right here in the user token. I do have the user token. And first I need to give a data set, where data set is a data representation, or it's a representation of the data. So I'm going to use ASA hyphen EH hyphen DS hyphen PM. So I'm using initials of my name. Then it will be ASA hyphen EH hyphen TBL and then hyphen PM. All set from my side, and I will say save. Now I need to write a query for it. That's the most important part. So for the query part, I will go to this query location. And here, actually, I have already prepared some script. So I'm just going to present that script directly to this location, where I'm adding a max temperature read timestamp as Windows end. I'm using an average temperature as average temperature. These all are the data which you have already seen when we were reading the data from this particular location itself. Then max, min, machine name into Power BI output, which is my output area. From input stream, timestamp by temperature read timestamp. So I'm reading the temperature read timestamp, which is a column. And there is a tumbling window. Tumbling window is basically, it's a kind of running frames that we have. It's a running frames which are run continuously. And once I did this, I will say save the query. And then I will go to overview, and I am going to start this job. Now, once I will start this job, it may take maybe a minute or two, and my job is started. So let's go to Power BI and let me refresh this page. And I'm going to get one data set. If you remember, I have created one data set right here on that particular location. So I'm going to start with a dashboard, which is the initial task which I'm going to do. And this will be demo dashboard create. And then I will go there, edit, add a tile. Within this tile, I will go for streaming data. Next, I already have this data set available. Again, next. And I would like to use something like line chart. It's a very simple demo for representing just few like live scenarios, live operations which are there. Machine name, and I would like to show the average temperature. I'm going to the next part right now, and the title is for demo, and then apply. Now what you can see right now, I believe you see that we have only one line here. Of course it is running, but we have only one line here. Then what will we do? Now let's see the variations, how I can do that. I will go to this command prompt which I'm using right now, and I'm just putting it other way or other side. So get ready to see the changes. I'm going to instruct them. Please increase the M1 and please decrease the M2. Now, if you can see there, they have started increasing somewhere and they have started decreasing. And I said M3, oh, sorry, bounce. So now M3 is going to be bounce gradually. Sometimes it will be variate, it will go up, it will go down. Now, why it is a static line? Because actually we have set it maximum up to 80. 80 is the limit. So I can say M1 decrease. So I have given them the instruction to decrease this information, decrease this temperature itself, right? So because it's just a simulation which I'm using right now, now you can see there is a variation in the black line, and now it is going down because I have given them and instructed them to decrease this information. Meanwhile, I don't know why, but whenever I'm going to work with this, I like to play with this a lot, where I can see sometimes up, sometimes down, and sometimes I try to make some shapes by using that. But somehow I was not successful all the time, but it was just a hit and trial, you can say that. And as you can see that now the data is started to the upper level, and you can see these variations that we have here. So that was a very small demo from my side to show you that, see, this is just a demo. Now, if you will talk about creating more and more enhanced high-end reports with more customizations, right, you can be able to do that. You can be able to do that, and in a very brilliant manner and in an effective manner.
We have put down everything about the certification, including the basic concepts that one should be knowing. So you will be introduced with Microsoft Data Analytics, where you will be getting started with Power BI, prepare data in Power BI, where you will be getting data from various sources, clean, transform, and loading data into the Power BI, design a data model in Power BI, create measures using DAX in Power BI, optimize model performance, create reports, create dashboards where you will be also creating real-time dashboards and enhance them, and create paginated reports in Power BI, perform advanced analytics, create and manage workspaces, manage datasets in Power BI, and then the most important thing, which is row level security. In this 8-week roadmap, we take you from basics to advanced level along with the tips and resources for clearing the certification exam. Once you are done with the certification, then you can start preparing for your CV and start applying for jobs. We also have a separate team working for CV preparation and on-job support. So if you want to become Microsoft Data Analyst Associate and want to learn right from basics to expert level, then we have a comprehensive step-by-step training for you that includes hands-on labs, including exam preparation, and the most important part, 1 year on-job support. If you are interested in this program, then I would highly recommend you to attend our free class, which covers why and who should learn data analyst platform, what is data analysis, how companies can benefit from data analyst, Power BI architecture, Power BI desktop, Power BI service, and many other topics. If you are interested in this free class, you can visit k21academy.com/da10002. You can also find the link in the description.